All right. Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Scale with Strategy. I'm April Beach, founder and CEO of the Sweet Life Company and host of the Sweet Life Entrepreneur Podcast. And this is my good friend, Elizabeth. Liz, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. My name is Elizabeth McFadden, and I'm the CEO and Director of Brand Strategy at Novella Brand House.
Awesome. All right. So every single week for the last couple of weeks, we've been hosting this show. We're really excited to be here with you every Wednesday morning. And we're always talking about different ways to scale your business from a branding and marketing standpoint to offer engineering. And today I want to dive into an aspect of how to make more money faster, how to catapult you to the front of your space, your industry, your niche by selling your course or training program to companies. So this might be a totally new concept. Is actually almost oftentimes a very new concept to people when they hear about this. So who is today for? Today is for those of you guys who are niche experts. Okay, so you have a special skill set, you are a consultant or a strategist or a coach, perhaps you're a speaker or you're an author, and you have a certain area of skill and expertise. And you have been teaching people and talking to people about that skill or expertise for a while now, at least long enough to establish that you're really good at what you do. And so the next level after we establish your business, after you launch your first programs, your first training courses, your whatever that looks like in your business, whatever that model is, even one-on-one coaching, the next level after that is having a conversation about how do we scale you even further. So we have scale conversations, like I said, all the time on this show. And that's the whole purpose of being here. But there's another level that we at the Sweet Life Company call amplify that happens after we go through the process of making sure your systems are in place to scale, your offers are in place to scale. And we start talking about this other level when businesses get tired of selling one-to-one. Okay, so what do I mean by that? It doesn't mean your offer is being delivered one-to-one. I'm talking selling one-to-one. So when we get to the point where you are doing marketing campaigns and you're trying to get many people into your training program, but still it's one person that clicks the button to buy it. It's still one person at a time that's buying it, even when we're engineering a marketing campaign to sell it to many people at a time. It's still one person that has to buy it. Each sale you make is like, okay, there's one, there's two, there's three. What I want to talk about today is what it actually looks like to sell it one time to one buyer, but 100 or 500 or 1,000 or even 10,000 people get to access it. That's what we're talking about in this next level strategy when we are talking about selling your course or your training programs to companies. And so that's what I wanted to chat about today. And if this is totally new to you, what we're going to do today is I'm going to introduce the concept to you. I'm going to share why this might be something that you should look more into, who is ready for this, who isn't, and a couple of different ways that you can get started moving down this path. How does that sound, Liz?
It sounds really good. And I actually want to interject one thing. So this whole LinkedIn series that we do every week is called Scale with Strategy. So we're talking to companies that are actively scaling or planning to scale, or maybe they're just finding themselves already there, right? Sometimes that happens too. So the thing is, the difference between growing and scaling is when you scale your company, you are looking at assets, you're looking at assets you already have that you're already expending resources in creating or doing. And how can you sort of X factor that? So it's, April, I love what you're talking about. It's like taking that one sale, but now it's like one sale too many. You're not doing any extra work. You've already created the IP. So this is just an example. That's why this is such a great topic today. This is an example. It doesn't work for everybody, but this is an example of how you can take your existing resources and assets and, X factor your growth.
Exactly. I know it's so exciting. And I love that you actually brought that up too, because we talked about it a couple of weeks ago on the show, the difference between growth and scale. And exactly like Elizabeth said, it's taking what we already have and instead of, spending more money, it's increasing the profit based on the bandwidth and the IP that we already have. And so it's using your assets. So let's go ahead and dive in. And who is this for? Your time is really valuable. This show is only 15 minutes long, but I want to make sure that if, you're going to hang out here with us, that this is a good place for you to be. So this is for those of you who, like Elizabeth said, have existing IP. So what does that mean? You have a system or a method or a program or a service or a course or some sort of training protocol that gets people results in your area of expertise. Okay. So if you have that, stick around. That is for sure number one. Number two, you're looking to develop more of a thought leadership role in your space. So what do I mean by that? So you might be known in your niche, to your clients in your area of expertise. When we talk about giving your course or your training program, what that does is it really elevates your personal brand and your company brand, and you become known in an even wider spectrum. What does that do for you? It not only helps you more as far as a profit scale from your business, it actually helps you sell even more to the individuals. Okay, so hear me out. You don't have to get rid of what we call the B2C side, the selling your training programs, continuing to do, you still continue in most cases to do what you're doing and offer your training and your services and your programs as you have. This separate side of the business is a separate division of the company. Elizabeth likes to refer to that sometimes like as a sub brand, and that could be appropriate for you. And so when you do this, when you go and you sell your training programs, you deliver your training programs to other companies, it actually increases your sales on the B2C side, because people are like, oh my gosh, wow, this person's so good that, the Gap or whoever wants their training program, or for their employee benefits, whatever that may be, or for skills training for their team. So it actually makes you more money across the board. So it elevates thought leadership. It certainly increases your profit, and it makes your current business even more successful as well. So those are some of the benefits, you guys, about why this is important. Let me kind of do a flashback. I first had no idea what I was talking about 15 years ago, when a company, actually it was a hospital, approached me to what we call license 8 of my courses. I was a business strategist. I was home. I had 3 little kids around me. I had a very successful international coaching practice at that time as well. And this hospital approached me and they said, we want your classes in our hospital. I had no idea what I was talking about. And so since then, I've created a repeatable process. And now my courses have actually been licensed in 13 different countries. And I've helped other entrepreneurs do this as well. So I share that to say that I get the fact that most people have no idea even how to enter into this area. And it's okay. We've got you. I've got you. That's why we're here today chatting. So let's talk about what are some of the ways that you can get started in this if you're interested. First of all, I am hosting a couple of workshops coming up. If you're interested, send me a DM here on LinkedIn or comment below, and I'll make sure that you have the link that you guys can go ahead and register on how to get started selling your courses to companies. But let's kind of give you the quick Cliff Notes so that you can be thinking about this for yourself. So there are 3 types of content, groups of content, that companies line up to buy from you. So I want you to think about this. What are the most common struggles in your business? Most times we hear content marketing, what are we putting out there? Always creating more great content. We're in this creator economy, always creating. Well, these companies are actually struggling with the same things as well. They're looking for great content and here's the 3 different areas that they're looking for content. Number 1, fill their marketing channels. If you have articles, if you have pieces that you have written, even videos, that's the one area that companies are looking to grab your content and say, hey, listen, this is great stuff. Our viewers or our staff or our team could benefit from that. So number 1 is content that fills their marketing channels. Number 2 are assets that level up their programs. So let me give you an example of that. These are companies that already have programs. They already have training programs. Let's say you are an expert at teaching people how to be on video, and a company has a marketing program, but they're missing that piece of it. They might just want to take your piece of what you teach and augment their programs with it. So the second area that people are looking to level up when we're talking about this is grabbing your specific area of expertise to add to what they already have. So both of those are great opportunities for you. So number 1, again, content to fill their channels. Number 2, assets to augment their programs. But number 3 is what we really want to talk about today. And this is really where the money is. Like millions of dollars, you guys. And I'm not just saying that. If you know me at all, I don't drop big numbers. We're talking about millions of dollars that companies are paying for what I call completes. And that is complete programs, complete training programs that are your complete courses, what you've been selling on a B2C side probably for a while, or what you've been speaking about or what you write about. They want that program and they want to insert that into whether it could be employee benefits. So if you teach meditation or mindfulness or productivity, I have quite a few clients that teach those, and we have their programs in companies, as well as how to get ready for a baby, how to get your baby to sleep through the night, how to have great sex. I have a client who teaches how to have amazing sex. And that program is licensed, what we call licensed, by an organization for their team. It'll blow your mind on what these companies want, right? Because they want to be the go-to company to work for. So they're going to look for all these amazing training programs because they want to attract the top talent to build their business. But then also skills training. Are you an expert again at marketing, copywriting, speaking? Any of these areas companies are looking to bring into your complete skills training program to level up. And when they do, it directly affects their ROI. So even if you're helping them get their baby to sleep at night, or even if you're helping their staff with mindfulness, what that does is we can go back and find the numbers and prove to them and show them why that increases their ROI and the value of their company by pouring into the value of their team. So again, let me repeat before we end this broadcast today. I want you to be thinking about these 3 different areas and what you guys already have that you can flood into these areas. So number 1, of course, is the content to fill their marketing channels. It's not, you don't make a fortune doing that, but it's a great place to start. To be honest. Number 2, programs to add to their existing programs, assets to your IP that might add to and level up their existing programs. And then number 3, completes. So what do you already have? What training programs, methodologies, processes, courses, anything that you already do, what do you already have? And that's where I just totally geek out on, and what we help our clients do, and process that, package that, price that, and get that into companies. So again, I will drop the link after this. If you guys want to hit me up more and join our workshop, we're going to be talking a lot about this moving forward, as we have been, especially over the last couple of months, and I'm really excited about it. Elizabeth, what do you think?
So, and maybe you talk about this in the workshop, but a question that I have is, I think the first step for a lot of people, they probably already, I mean, I'm sure if they're listening to this, they're already thinking about some things that they have that fit into those 3 buckets you just named. But how can they maybe define a potential audience? And is that something you talk about in the workshop? Maybe you can even just give us a little preview of that. Because I think people can identify what they have to offer, but maybe they don't know, like, how do they find who I offer this to? Or is there even a market? And who the market is?
Right. Yeah, that's a great question. So we do go through that process in the workshop, as well as I also have a 1-day virtual event where we actually build out licensing packages as well. But overall, first of all, when you're looking at companies, they don't have to be big, huge organizations. They don't have to be, big nonprofits. They don't have to be international companies. You can actually look for smaller businesses first, and just even look at businesses in your area. So here's a great example. Again, I always go back to that marketing strategy example. If you are an expert at teaching people how to show up on camera, and how to speak clearly and stop saying and right? If that's your area of expertise and that's what you teach, an example would be looking out to other businesses that have the same audience base. They might not be doing the same thing, but the first place we always want to look in a smaller business standpoint, not necessarily corporations, is who else in your area teaches another skill that is really comparable to the skill that you have, and your skill can actually benefit the skills they're already teaching. So that's step number 1. When we look at companies and corporations, it depends on whether or not you have an actual skills training that you are teaching, or whether or not it's more of an employee, like a personal development benefit. So from a personal development benefit side, go out and start searching for the companies that are already out there. They're already in their PR, because it looks good for them. In their PR, they're saying, hey, listen, we have a great relationship program that we offer to our staff, our team. You'll see the companies that are starting to adopt more disruptive, innovative, outside of the box programs. They will be public about it because it makes them look good. So when we're doing the marketing strategy, and where we're going and saying, hey, who could this be available for? Both the smaller businesses and the corporations. Smaller businesses, again, who's serving the same audience. Corporations, who's already out there developing innovative programs, are a great place to start.
That's awesome. Well, and I can tell you've just scratched the surface, because there's so many different ways to go about it. So excited about your workshop. But those are kind of the 2 most important things. Even just thinking about this and brainstorming around this. What are your assets, and who could your audience be?
Right. Great place to start. Great. So fun day, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will have this replay up for you. Again, ping me here if you have any questions. I'm always here on LinkedIn. Feel free to DM me if you have any questions about this. And we will be back here next week again on Scale with Strategy. Do we know what we're chatting about next week yet?
We don't. It is a branding topic. And I'm actually thinking about posing a question that you and I will kind of banter back and forth. I've got a few of those. So.
Okay. We like questions. All right. You guys have an awesome week. Thank you, Elizabeth.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.